I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hey, look at this. It's a pattern you're trying to break. Every pattern is a trigger followed by a primary emotion. Notice how these are red, followed by a meaning making or storytelling that goes on in your own mind. After we told ourselves a story about what the emotion means, we feel a secondary emotion like guilt, for example. We will then take action based off of that secondary emotion, and all of these things together form our emotional landscape, which is how we look back on our experiences on average over time. A codependent pattern that you might want to break is you see a loved one in distress and that triggers fear, your primary emotion. The meaning a codependent person attaches to that emotion is, if I don't help, I'm bad. That meaning making then generates guilt, which generates overextension. Repetition of this pattern forms the emotional landscape, which in this case is resentment and low self-worth. A narcissistic pattern that we might want to break is a loved one offering constructive criticism triggers shame. The attached meaning or storytelling is, they're disrespecting me. A secondary feeling of contempt will then drive devaluing of the loved one themselves. In both cases, we feel like we're being forced by a partner, friend, or family member to act in a certain way, but we're really not. We are actually being compelled by an internal threat we are generating to our own self-concept. When we experience a negative primary emotion like fear, the stories or narratives that we tell ourselves often cause us to take actions that serve our short-term goals, but not our long-term goals. That's because we're trying to end the discomfort immediately. We can't change our primary emotions. And in fact, we also can't change the outside triggers, but we can change our meaning making. For example, if somebody doesn't text you back, does that mean that they don't love you? Or does that mean that they don't have capacity? Changing the stories that we tell ourselves is not automatic. It's not going to just start happening the more that you learn. When we look in the mirror and think, ugh, I look gross, we have to catch that thought by noticing it and then will ourselves into thinking, actually, you know what? I look great today. Because our brains don't actually know the difference between things we think on accident and things that we think on purpose. Don't overcomplicate it. If you want to think differently, you need to start thinking differently. When we consume self-help content without intentionally changing our narratives, it's kind of like going to the gym, staring at the weights and wondering why we're not getting stronger.
Hey, Robin Humphries. Oh, I'd hate to play paintball with her. She don't miss. You'd get pew, 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 pew. Hey, Robin Humphries was on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2 of the VOR, the Voice of Reason, live from Leimert Park. You already know, as Dominique DePrima calls it, Little Africa Town. You know, the heart of the Crenshaw District, L.A. You know what we on? Tonight's topic is absolutely hot lava. Shadow avoidance. Shadow avoidance as a key expectation, a central, crucial expectation of your love life. I want to avoid triggering the shadow work I must do. I want to be something that is compatible to whatever is missing in you so I can get what I need. Oh, but revealing myself, the real me, even the aspects of myself that I loathe, that I purposely, intentionally orphan? Nah, I'm not doing that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people enter relationships the same way criminals enter witness protection, emotional witness protection, right? New location, new personality, new story, hoping nobody ever finds out who they really used to be. The nervous system learned early that being fully seen leads to punishment, humiliation, or abandonment. So the adult personality develops a survival skill called selective authenticity. If you can't be real in your relationship is fake. I know people don't. I know people don't want to hear it put that way, but I don't care. You show enough truth to look real, but never enough truth to feel real through exposure. Whew. Let me say it again. You show enough truth to look real, but never enough truth to feel real, embody real through exposure. Psychologically, this keeps identity stable. Anthropologically, it keeps reputation intact. You know the reputation must precede the truth. Come on! Spiritually speaking, it blocks transformation because light cannot change what light cannot reach. Light cannot change what light cannot reach. The tragedy comes when intimacy gets close enough to recognize the original face under the disguise. Now the body goes into threat mode. Not because love feels dangerous, but because recognition feels like an arrest. You know, John from Mountain View, get in here, Johnny. I need you to come in here, man. You got to finish your, you was on your final thought. I need you to finish it, brother.
Okay, let me be quick then.
Am I wilding out today? I'm sorry.
No. This is your show. And again, I got my own storms in my life that I'm currently dealing with in Hawaii. Remember, I'm underwater right now.
Literal storms, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, wild out. Enjoy yourself. Be blessed. Be encouraged. We need that in this life for us to see that light that is within us. Keep reflecting, sir. But nonetheless, yes, peacefully speaking and ultimately speaking, let's add nuance to the subject because, again, it's the distractions that we are already distracted in. We're born in sin and shapen in iniquity, and we're distracted by everything. And how are you supposed to see yourself? And who has ever showed you how?
Zoe Williams.
One light, one individual. And we're supposed to be seeking you.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it, brother.
And I'm with you. Thank God I saw the light. Blessings.
Love you,
but
brother.
At the same time,
go ahead. You said, but at the same time, I'm waiting on you, John. Come on, you got the floor.
Oh, I thought you was ready to close. I was getting ready to get off the phone.
No, you said, but on the other hand, I said, oh, Joe, my man John got some more. Come on.
I have plenty, but again, this is not my show. It's your show, so I'll say
it
this.
don't have to be your show.
All you got to do is... Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the God who serves you all is showing you everything you need to see. You might need to just pause and look up for just a moment. Maybe you'll see it.
I love it. Love it. Guess what you just did, my brother?
Mountain View is in the house. I'm glad we're still here. Thank God we didn't fall off into the ocean.
I'm glad you're still here too, man. We love you, man, and I'll be tapping in with you. Listen, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. Shadow-Phobic intimacy. What is that, Zoe? Shadow-Phobic intimacy. I'm scared of my shadow. You don't want to know that part of me. I get it. There are people who could talk healing for 3 hours straight. But the moment their partner notices one contradiction, their entire nervous system starts ringing like the bank just flagged a suspicious activity. Nervous system fraud alert. They getting too close. Lord have mercy. They gonna see an aspect of myself I don't like seeing. Right? Nervous system fraud alert. Jeez. If your early survival depended on hiding certain emotions, then honesty will always feel like exposure. And exposure will always feel like danger. So when intimacy gets accurate, right? Your brain hits the fraud alert. Suddenly, the relationship feels unsafe. The conversation is disrespectful. You know, now your partner feels, it's all off. Right? Shadow-phobic intimacy pushes us into this space of personality airbrushing. Modern culture teaches people how to edit themselves the way magazines edit photos. Smooth out the flaws, brighten the smile, remove the parts that look too human. The problem shows up when somebody gets close enough to see the unedited version of yourself. Now the nervous system reacts like the camera caught something illegal. From a trauma perspective, the person learned that imperfection equals rejection. Do you see? Personality airbrushing. I want to hear from people tonight. The phone lines are open, 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear from people tonight who actually want to be unapologetically authentic in their relationships. I want to have the discussion. What is that supposed to look like? Right? Don't you know it's probably easier to pass gas in front of your partner than it is to open up about your shadow? I believe 100% it's easier to pass gas. Oops, excuse me. I apologize. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Hand me the Febreze. Give me that. I think it's easier to do that. Poot ships. We in a poot ship. I believe it's easier to do that than it is to be seen. I believe it. I believe it. And I ask these questions. Come on, man. Many of us have a closeness intoxication limit. Everybody has a limit to how much intimacy they can metabolize before the nervous system gets drunk on exposure. At first, closeness feels amazing because connection releases safety chemicals the body has wanted to feel for years. But the deeper the bond goes, the more unfinished parts start to float to the surface. Jealousy, fear. Who else are they making feel like this? Neediness. Where are you going? Anger. Hey, you better not leave without. Shame. Oh my God, they revealed an aspect of me that I didn't even know. Oh my. Dependency. Confusion. The person never learned how to hold. Listen, hold. Hold space. You hold space. Hold your jealousy. Hold your fear. Hold your anger. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the person never learned how to hold those states without panic, the system hits an intoxication limit. Now, the same closeness that felt like love starts to feel like suffocation. They don't leave because they stopped caring. They leave because the amount of self-revelation, listen, self-revelation required too much to stay. It was exceeding what their nervous system knows how to survive. Do you understand? Shadow-phobic intimacy. I argue that most people are in that state. Am I, Andy, am I crazy? Listen, man. You know what I feel is apropos in this moment right now? Andy, we need loose ends. You can't stop the rain. Because the moment your relationship get a little wet with exposure, it get a little moist with exposure,
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Nox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Nox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Nox 47 for free, call now. 800-677-1453. That's 800-677-1453. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-677-1453. That's 800-677-1453.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. At the heart of the Al Wooten Center's mission for good citizenship and academic excellence is a desire to ensure that every student avoids the kind of lifestyle and overcomes the kinds of challenges that led to the murder of Al Wooten Jr. In 1990, founder Myrtle Faye Rumpf opened the center in honor of her son's life. In 2026, they are serving more than 300 students in grades 3 through 12 annually online and on site at their youth center and other other sites in the South LA area. The Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center takes a neighborhood approach to the revitalization and empowerment of a community in crisis. The Wooten Center provides free after-school and summer programs to help students in grades 3 through 12 attain grade-level proficiency and promotion, high school graduation, and college and career access and success. The Al Wooten Center focuses on academics, STEM, the arts, and so much more. Join them for an enriching experience that sparks creativity and nurtures young minds. Tap in at wootencenter.org. That's wootencenter.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This March, we're turning up the volume on the women who changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable. All month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we're your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Jung had this great saying that the real work of a man is, the real work of men is to discover their own shadow. And if they can do that, they've done something meaningful for the world. And what he meant by that was, if you don't understand your own maladaptive behaviors, your own sabotage mechanisms, if you don't understand how you are harming other people, then you're essentially passing on harm out into the world, onto other people, inadvertently to your kids or your family members or your friends. And that's not really what, I don't know how else to say it, but it's like, that's not really where men find a sense of meaning and purpose. Like, in many ways, the archetypes of great kings and great men, they are the men that are servants to others. And how they go about doing that is by deeply understanding who they are.
Why is that the scariest horror movie for most people? Discovering who they are, not what you want from this world. It's easy though. I want a big house. I want to be wealthy. I want a pretty wife. I want to... No. Loving your unscripted self. That's the real part, right? tired of everybody having an expectation of everybody to show up right for them. Right? You got to show up right. What work have you done? You guys have heard me say it before. What internal battles with yourself have you won? Where the real enemy is the part of yourself you hate. Do you understand? If you don't have those kind of victories in your spirit, how can you be a good person for someone else? That's a real question. Like, how can you show up in truth? And I'm not talking about being able to articulate it, being able to say, yeah, well, my therapist said I'm this, or my spiritualist or my guru said this, I got this generational thing. Do you understand? For many of us, it's reputation over revelation. You want to look good to a toxic society, then reveal the truth of yourself in the most vulnerable way to someone you claim you love. A lot of people want to evolve, but not at the cost of how they look while evolving. Stop, Zoe. Yeah, let's keep it going. They will go to therapy. They will read books. They will speak in conscious, elevated tones. They will quote philosophy. But the moment growth requires them to admit something ugly about themselves in front of another human being, the survival instinct kicks in, takes over. Right? Status protects belonging, and belonging protects survival. Do you understand? It keeps identity stable. Spiritually, it freezes development. Your relationship is, it is spiritually frozen if you are not an authentic person in that place. And you hear some people say, well, we've been through a lot. Yeah, that's one way to trigger some of that stuff that's been lying dormant. Right? That's a good way. But if you're doing it the way I'm talking about tonight, shadow-phobic intimacy, right? Shallow pool loving, in the shallow end of the pool, right? Right? Spiritually, it will freeze your development to stay in the shallow end. Because revelation always comes before transformation. So the person constantly or unconsciously chooses their reputation over realization. They would rather stay impressive, right, to this society than to become whole. Because wholeness requires moments where you don't look enlightened at all. I'm asking folk in here right now. Somebody just said it. Willie Ellis. What is the difference between evolving and developing? Nothing really. Semantics. Right? Development is a process. Right? So is evolution. Right? You can apply those words to different things. The whole point is growth, expansion. Now, from a psychological or psycho-spiritual space, when we talk about evolution, right, that has to do a lot with healing. When we come forward, I'll break that down even further. We got a lot more to talk about.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump says Americans are frustrated with Democrats as the government shutdown continues.
They love sanctuary cities, which is a sanctuary for criminals.
Speaking at a cabinet meeting, he warned the standoff must end soon or drastic measures could be taken after Democrats rejected a GOP plan to partially fund ICE. A black Florida congresswoman is under scrutiny as the House Ethics Committee holds a rare public hearing on multiple charges. Two-term Democrat Sheila Sherfilis McCormick is accused of violating campaign finance laws and misusing millions in COVID-19 relief funds, allegations she denies, as investigators say they found substantial evidence to support the claims. And actor Coleman Domingo is set to make his hosting debut on Saturday Night Live on April 11th. The episode comes just ahead of the season 3 premiere of Euphoria, where he returns as Ali in his role as Joe Jackson in the upcoming film Michael. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The ASICS Los Angeles Marathon on March 8th takes you from stadium to the stars. Whether you're a seasoned marathoner or a first-time participant, the Los Angeles Marathon offers an unforgettable experience for runners of all levels. LA, move your body, move your mind with ASICS.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Become the drum.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck B. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Dropping it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
He's the son of a school teacher and Navy veteran who built a company worth billions and walked away from it. Tom Steyer, pledging to give away half of everything he earned to charity and fight for Californians. So when out-of-state corporations weren't paying their fair share of taxes, Tom Steyer led the fight for Prop 39 and won, earning California billions of dollars for our schools. Tom took on Big Oil to stop them polluting our air and water and smash them. Tom fought for free school lunches so no child goes hungry. Tom Steyer, strong enough to take on the special interests crushing us with the cost of living. As governor, Tom will stop Wall Street from buying up middle-class homes, lower utility rates by 25%, and ban corporate PAC money from our politics. Other politicians talk. Tom Steyer gets it done. Ad paid for by Steyer for Governor 2026.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Created with a share of the 1984 Olympic Games surplus, LA 84 began operations in 1985 as a grant-making and educational foundation. Today, the LA 84 Foundation supports hundreds of nonprofit youth sports organizations throughout Southern California annually, trains coaches, commissions research, convenes conferences, and maintains the world's premier Olympic and sports library collection. They are transforming lives and communities through the power of youth sports. To find out about youth sports programs for yourself or your child, and to get information about the grants and support they offer to schools and nonprofits, or if you want to make a donation, please visit la84.org. That's la84.org. Or you can call them at 323-730-4600. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
The universe is within us. Everything out there is also within us. As within, so without. Now, if you can accept it, then, wow, inside we have demons and Stalins and Hitlers and all kinds of people in there. They may be in potential, but they're in there. We contain the universe. And likewise, we have Christ and Buddhas and all kinds of wonderful heroes inside us too. So which ones will be the strongest? The ones we pay the attention to, the ones we cultivate. So we really want to look inside, let's say in our horrendous world situation right now, before we pass blame and judgments and so on. Easy to do, of course, and many people are doing it left and right. Not that it really helps, but anyway, they do it. Anyway, maybe the best use of our energy is to look inside and see if we have a Hitler or somebody inside. If so, then we can vanquish it, because we also have a Christ and a Confucius and everybody's in there. So act on your highest beliefs. It's all up to us. Like we are...
Andy, who is that? It sounds like my friend Jerry from Beverly Hills. Who was that, Andy? We miss Jerry, by the way. Fu Ding Chang. I got you. Listen. He was saying some pretty heavy stuff. And you say, oh, that's that old newfangled stuff. Some people even think psychology is newfangled. You know, that's that old, whatever. The reality of it is, we know how to act right? This might hurt. I'm sorry. We know how to behave when a wallet is involved. We are better behaved for the wallet than we are for the mirror. Somebody loop that up for somebody clip that up. When our mirror shows up, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. We are better behaved for the wallet, for provision, for safety, for all of that stuff. But when the mirror shows up and shows you what the last clip was talking about, all of the demons in us, the darkness in us, the shadow in us, right? That's why we don't like that partner. And it tends to be the soulmate, quote unquote, as if I believe in that or not. But the soulmate, just for lack of a better word, the soulmate or the one, it tends to be that one person that wakes these areas of yourself up. Right? That is the challenge right there. Many of us, we forsake that challenge. We neglect that challenge, right? We push that challenge away because we really don't want to confront ourselves as we are. And back to Willie Ellis's statement, that is healing when you confront what has been ignored by you that lives in you. That's part of healing. Carl Jung didn't make up nothing new, right? It's not new. Individuation is what Carl Jung called it. Integration. Listen, you are fragmented. I love the conversations with Jiddu Krishnamurti and Dr. David Baum when they talked about the ending of time. That's the name of the book of their particular conversation that they had in Brockwood, England. They were having the conversation, and again, they were talking about fragmentation, but they were talking about psychological fragmentation. Well, Carl Jung spent a little time with Krishnamurti. So it makes sense that Carl Jung would come out with, hey, it's individuation. Because that's what Krishnamurti was talking about. Psychological fragmentation. And what emerges out of psychological fragmentation is the ego, right? The ego is the performance of it all. There's something beyond that. There's something So let's deal with fragmentation. Light side, dark side. The mask is the light. That's what everybody sees. The shadow is the darkness. That's what everybody feels. Oh, yeah, you can feel it on them. It's leaking out the side of the mask. Individuation or integration is talking about merging the two sides to become a whole self. Krishnamurti was saying you're fragmented because he didn't say mask. That's what Carl Jung called it. Krishnamurti said the image. Right? He said your relationship is built up off of images. And we spend the majority of our relationship trying to maintain the image that our partner fell in love with and that we're addicted to, that we think is us. That's why there's shadow-phobic intimacy. Does it make sense when people, when the relationship go bad, 20 years of marriage and we get a divorce, after 20 years we acting like strangers? We get to say, I never knew you. I can't believe this is you. Who are you? Who am I looking at? A person you never met? Shadow-phobic intimacy, a penetrating look into the pervasive behavior of shadow/whole self avoidance. I got to go through the dark night of the soul in order to grow up. And I might have to do that in front of somebody. I don't want nobody to see me looking like this. Most of us need a self-concept earthquake. Every once in a while, a relationship shakes the ground under the version of yourself you thought was permanent. You thought you were patient until someone triggered your anger. You thought you were secure until somebody triggered your jealousy. You thought you were healed until abandonment fear started stalking you again. That's not failure. That's an earthquake revealing the fault lines that were already there. The ego hates these types of earthquakes because the ego wants stability. Identity keeps social order predictable. Earthquakes break structures that cannot grow anymore. But when the shaking starts, most people don't reinforce the foundation. They run from the building and blame the person who made the ground move. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is the real purpose of love. This is why we can't get to love. This is why we can't get there. Because we got all these attachment smoke alarms going off. Attachment smoke alarms. Oh, yes. The attachment smoke alarm. Some people don't know they have an attachment wound until intimacy starts cooking something real in their spirit. Then the smoke alarm goes off for everything. Partner asks a question, smoke alarm goes off. Partner notices a pattern, smoke alarm goes off. The attachment smoke alarm. Partner wants emotional closeness, attachment smoke alarm goes off. The system reacts like the house is on fire, even when all that's happening is heat from the connection. There's no real smoke here. This connection's too hot. Do you see? Trauma wiring sets the sensitivity too high. So anything that reminds the nervous system of old vulnerability gets treated like an intruder. Instead of checking what's actually burning, the person disconnects the alarm by shutting down, pulling away, or starting conflict. Now the house stays quiet. But nothing ever gets warm enough to become home again. I know. I'm trying to reestablish the reality of what relating is for. There's a Chinese guy by the name of Emoto, Professor Dr. Emoto. And he has a book about water. The miracle of water. Right? The miracle of water. It's a beautiful thing. He talks about how if you pray to water, water's molecular structure will change around the positive. You understand what I'm saying? If you tell some water, I hate you, or if you play some negative music, I wrote about this in my Shrouded Lighthouse book. Guess you are 78% water. Imagine the molecular structure of your spirit, of your being, of your body under suppression and repression. Right? You're suppressing yourself. The real you, the whole you, the healed you. You don't want the healed you because the healed you brings the shadow with it. Healing is just another word for wholeness. You can't be healed without your shadow involved. That's why there's so many condescending, disrespectful, holier than thou religious folk. Christ was nothing like you. Oops. I'm sorry. But do you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you, though? 70 to 90% of your body is water. When we come forward, I'm going to teach you how to cleanse it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Heading out of town this spring? Metro makes getting to LAX easier than ever. Just take the C or K train lines to the new LAX Metro Transit Center. Then catch a free shuttle straight to your terminal. Easy, affordable, stress-free. Travel smart. Go Metro.
Not everything announces itself. Some things simply arrive, and the room is compelled to adjust. This is grooming without apology, without noise, without compromise. Gods and money, organic formulations, clean precision, crafted for skin that does not ask for permission to be felt. Element Cream, a rare hydration layered like an oud at dusk, measured, enduring, unmistakably masculine, moisturizing oil, a quiet revolution, restoring what stress, climate, and time attempts to claim. This is not skincare. It is composure made visible. It is inevitability. Gods and money exist impeccably. Discover the ritual at godsandmoney.com. That's godsandmoney, MONY.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. 10 Toes In serves as a mentorship and domestic violence prevention program. They support, educate, and empower couples during and after incarceration. They assist male returning citizens to re-enter society successfully and to help them maintain a healthy relationship with their romantic partner. They offer a mentorship support group for formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In teaches its Intimate Relationships 101 curriculum at male prisons throughout the state of California. They host sister support group meetings for women who are intimately involved with incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To access their services or make a donation, please visit them online at 10toesin.org or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They are healing lives through relationships. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This the label?
The most valuable thing that we could ever have in this world is Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus says in John chapter 14, he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So I want to encourage you.
One of the most pernicious emotional responses in relationship is the defensiveness to avoidance and a lack of repair pathway. What I mean is if you get into a conflict and you go defensive and then you eject and you become avoidant for a period of time and then you don't come back and resolve the conflict, you just kind of ride it out and never address it again, that's abusive. We are going to have conflicts in relationship. We have to learn how to resolve them.
Whoever that is cooking. That's all I got. He whoever that was on fire. But I cut him short because I wanted to talk about that Max Trombley. Okay. I wanted to give the other side of that. Max Trombley. That's okay. Thank you. I want to give the other side of it because we were talking about Dr. Emoto and the Miracle of Water, right? Miracle in Water, his book. I've been hip to that work since the 90s, and human beings are made up 85% water, right? Water is recording everything. He said the water records. The water in your house is recording. If you and your spouse are fighting, the water is recording. Right? And then you drink that water, and, you know, that encoded molecular structure is now being taken into your body. Well, if your body is made of majority water, we start talking about a traumatic wound from childhood and modeling and all of this stuff, right? And I'm speaking metaphysically and I'm speaking spiritually, right? Yeah, exactly, true monger. Angry water. Spiteful water, whatever. It's the same concept that black folk been talking about the longest when they say, my mama or my woman, she cooked the food with love. It's the same concept, right? If you've been consuming, right, traumatic water, traumatic food, right? If you've just been consuming all of this stuff, the way you think about it, all of it, shame, guilt, anger, apathy. If you've been consuming, how do you get it up out you? The same way the Hindus did, the same way the Buddhists did, the same way the Christians do, the same way the Muslims do, the same way the Sufi did. Let me tell you something. Nowadays, clinicians are calling it mindfulness, meditation, prayer. That's how you cleanse your spirit. That's how you cleanse your water, so to speak. The water in your body, the water in your being. Mindfulness is the new way to heal. But mindfulness is observation without judgment. The negative self-talk, the self-condemnation, the self-repudiation, all of that has to stop. If you want to integrate and become a whole self, and start healing these psychic wounds, man, the level of self-love, self-acceptance, self-empathy, self-compassion, self-acknowledgement, self-validation, self-approval, all of that's got to happen. But it's not going to be an easy process. You're going to cry, you're going to break down, you're going to be at the precipice of the dark night of the soul, but you got to be okay with that. And if you start that journey, maybe one day you can show up into a relationship as your whole self. There won't be any shadow-phobic intimacy. We live in a society that keeps saying, oh, this is too deep, this is too much, this, because you too shallow. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm going to keep doing it. When we come forward, it'll be a whole new week, and I'll have 4 new slappers ready to go. Deuces!
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A strike appears to be ending at NYU after faculty reached a tentative contract agreement. This student joined the professors on the picket lines.
If they get their fair compensation, then I get the quality education that I'm paying for and that I deserve.
Professors demanded better pay, AI protections, and childcare. Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the Port of Baltimore had its second best year ever in 2025, moving about 50 million tons of cargo as it rebounds from the Key Bridge collapse. He toured reconstruction efforts and says he plans to cut the ribbon when the new bridge opens. And Nicki Minaj is accused